Okay, so this budget party is going to look a little bit different than what I typically would be doing for this budget party. So this is the first of many. In the future, this is going to take place in my new school community. So I'll talk more about that in just a bit. Typically during these, I wouldn't like teach how to budget necessarily, just because if you're in the community, if you're familiar with me, then you probably already know how to budget. It's kind of just holding everybody accountable to actually create their budget and then check in after a month or so. So let me first send out this questionnaire. One sec. It's just two questions with an optional third. I'm gonna put it in the chat if y'all could answer these for me. These are anonymous, so it won't ask for your email or anything or your name. And then if anybody needs their sheets, I'm gonna put that in the chat as well. Okay, so I'm gonna keep an eye on the form. Got 4 responses so far. Y'all know how I feel about it. I think really budgeting isn't going to get you rich, you know? But I believe it is a fundamental habit to have for most people. If you are the type of person who can just naturally save, doesn't really spend much money, and you make a decent amount of money, you're good for the most part, or you can eventually get to that. But I do really think that budgeting and tracking is the key to kind of just staying on track with everything, at least up until a certain point. All right, 10 responses. Can everybody see the form? How many people are here? 15. So I'll wait for a couple more. Okay. All right, there we go. I'm going to share this now and you can see the results. There we go. Okay. So 50% of y'all said it's okay, but I struggle sometimes. And then a split between love it and overwhelmed otherwise. And actually, I want to see. Okay, so 12 of y'all, so just a couple said overwhelmed. Okay. I, in the chat, or even if you want to email me, if anybody is overwhelmed by budgeting, I'd love to know kind of like why that is. You don't have to come off of mute or anything, but if you want to put it in the chat, if you were the person who entered in overwhelmed, I would love to hear more. And then if you selected hate it, love it because I have you as a mentor. That must be Dro. Thanks, Dro. Okay, and then what category do you spend the most money on outside of housing? Largest is food out. Mm-hmm. Very common. And then next would be groceries. Okay. Debt payments is a big one, followed by travel and shopping. Yeah, okay. Honestly, I should have put on there pets, if that's a big one too, but I guess you could count that in kids and family. Yeah, mine is definitely groceries. Otherwise, health and beauty too. I didn't even put that on there, and that's my highest spend category. It's always health and beauty or groceries. Okay, so thank you for answering this. Let me stop sharing again. And then if anybody, okay, let me see. Emma said, "Hey Layla, I'm driving and unable to log my responses, but I'm in the love it category." Awesome. Thank you, Emma. So if y'all don't have your spreadsheets, that's in the chat as well. It should have come to your email. And I do want to share because I got a couple emails saying that people couldn't access it. So I just want to make sure that you can. Is anybody having trouble accessing the sheets? But I'll do it for the recording anyway. So just in case, because I get these emails all the time because I offer these for free, you know. Typically what should happen is once you click the link, it's going to prompt you to make a copy. If you are not seeing this, then hopefully you are at least taken to something like this, which would be the sheets. And if you are not seeing this whatsoever, I genuinely don't know. Like it could be that you're not logged into Gmail. It could be that you need to use a different browser. But if you have the link, it should open, either prompt you to make a copy. Otherwise, you can go to File, Make a Copy, and that's how you get it so that you can actually edit it yourself. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna go over the simple budget, and the weekly tracker is fairly similar as well. And I know that the bulk of y'all know how to create a budget. Also, I have a number of videos on it, but gonna just kind of talk through this. Let me take out these numbers. So first of all, you can rename this if you want to. So you could call it my budget or whatever you want to. You can put the year, you can put anything that you want on there. And then I'm going to clear these out. Well, I'm just going to clear these out. And these will automatically be on there when you make a copy because it's just filler data. When it comes to budgeting, I like things to be as simple as possible. So the least resistance. And, if you are somebody who likes to use an app, great. If you like to use pen and paper, great. Like you've got to find what works for you. I really like spreadsheets because I can customize them. I can pull it up on my phone. I can, easily figure out where something went wrong. I'm just very used to spreadsheets. So it works well for me and it does. I've never had a client not be able to use my spreadsheets. My mom even uses them and she's 66 and she's able to like fit in the notes and add columns. Like she does all these things on her own now. So I kind of force people to use the sheets, but I think because they're so simple, it ends up working out. But I'd never force it if it's not working. So for this top section, first of all, if you want to change the color, you can do that. You can highlight up here, go to this paint bucket. And since we're going into October, we'll do a pumpkin orange. You can change the text if you want to. We'll do that down here as well. So pumpkin orange. Okay, so you can adjust as you go and you kind of figure it out with time what you prefer to see. This top portion here, of course, the whole part is for your income or money coming in to you. So these first cells, though, at the very top are for actual income that you're working with in the month. So work income, side hustle, extra income, you get child support, like money actually coming to you, money earned even. And then these two cells here are it's money that you're working with in the month, but it's not necessarily income. So you could be pulling from a sinking fund. Maybe somebody paid you back for something. You split the bill at a restaurant. You ended up paying for all of it, so they Venmoed you money, something like that. That's what goes in these two cells, and you can always add more if you want to. So you would put in your work income. We're going to do this with somebody in the budget hot seat in just a moment, but all you would put in is your income. If you have some side hustle income, this is going in the expected. So in the what you're expecting for the upcoming month, because every month looks a little bit different. If you're making some side hustle money, and make sure no questions. Okay, feel free to ask any questions in the chat. They should pop up for me. Let me have that pulled up. Okay. Extra income. So this could be like credit card points or you sold something on Facebook Marketplace, whatever it may be, you could pop it in there. And then everything will total up here. And this is going into a new month. I know for most people, the month looks the same, but sometimes it changes. I know going into October, a lot of people have like 3 paychecks this month, which is always fun to work with. So if you have that, you could even, if you wanted to separate this out. So instead of just one spot, it could be like paycheck one, paycheck two, however you prefer to organize that. And then if you're pulling from sinking funds, like maybe you are going to buy some gifts and you have a gift sinking fund, then you could put $100, so on and so forth. And then again, I like to keep it as simple as possible. I really just prefer to list my expenses. So I kind of keep some sort of organization with this, like the more expensive things, or some people prefer to track with their gross income. So we have to account for taxes, we have to account for 401k, health insurance, that type of thing. Otherwise, you could start with like your most expensive. So housing is typically the first. So if you have like rent and then how much it is. So say 1,500. And then if you have you can, if you want to, combine things. This is yours. So completely customize it how you prefer to see things. If you want it less overwhelming, then you can just put utilities and put everything together. So water, gas, sewage, trash, everything can go in one, or you can separate that all out. Water, electric, so on and so forth. And then you can fill in how much each of those costs you or you're expecting for the upcoming month. And this is on the simple tracker. This is personally what I use. Like well, I use this one. Looks a bit more like this if you all watch my videos. But this is basically the same thing. There's also the weekly budget tracker, so you could it's the same format. There's just weeks in there so that you can log your spending like basically every Sunday. It makes it a little bit easier. But here, as you go through the month, you would log into actual. And how that would look is you put the equal symbol. Like let's say rent is one thing, so you pay that once typically. But if you had groceries on here and you budgeted 400, and then if you went grocery shopping the first week of the month and spent $75, you can put in equals 75, enter. And then the next week you go grocery shopping again. So you come in and just you can double click. You can even do this on your phone. I do recommend the app if you don't have it already. 75 plus another 100, right? So just plus the next value and it will add it in there for you. And then what's happening off to the right is as you log your spending, the difference is going to change. So if you are on budget, this will be white because I don't know if y'all saw that before. It's now green, but if we put it back, $0. And then if you are under budget, it will remain green. If you end up going over budget, it will turn red. So you can kind of see where to keep an eye on. You would list that all the way down. Of course, with right now, you would just be filling in the budget because we haven't gotten to the month yet. And down at the bottom, all of your expenses will total up from here, from your budget. And then income minus expenses is what this means. So income minus expenses, it's literally subtracting all of your expenses, this total, from your total income. And then same thing on the actual side. And you'll be able to see as the month goes what that looks like. So ideally, this would be in the green. If it's not in the green, then something needs to shift around. Either you need to make more income or reduce somewhere. Y'all have seen that lately. Yeah, and by the way, with the comment, which app do you use on your phone? It is just Google Sheets. As for an app, I don't use a budgeting app. There is one that I recommend. It's called Lunch Money, but I don't use it. Like I'm gonna have a video coming soon where I show using it, but like it's probably the best one I've seen, but Google Sheets is what I use exclusively. Um, sorry, what was I saying? Oh, if you're in the green, great. Then you can put money elsewhere. You can pay your debt, extra to your debt. You can save. Um, you can just leave it as is. Leave a cushion in your checking account if you want to. If you're in the red, which is something that's been happening to me a lot lately, if y'all have seen my videos, usually I end up pulling from savings and that's how I resolve it because it's like having to contribute to my Roth IRA or whatever it may be. Not ideal to be in the red going into a new month as far as your budget goes. But yeah, that just means that somewhere you have to try and cut it out or make more money. And then I do like to get this pretty close to zero. So it would look more like, let me just put in a random, put too high, sorry, 2,300. Still too high. 21. Okay, so close to zero with a little bit of a cushion for most people. And this depends on who I'm talking with. I have some clients, Dro, I think we get yours pretty close to zero, but I have some clients who they want to leave like a significant amount of money left over month to month. So we'll leave like $2,000 or $6,000 as a checking cushion. But if you're going to do that, then I recommend putting in rollover here. So this means money left over from the past month that's rolling into the upcoming month. So let's say you want a cushion of $3,000 in your checking account. It's going to be like that basically month over month. So you want this to stay at about 3,000 in order to keep maintaining that. Does that all make sense? Any questions? I think y'all mostly know. Is there a ballpark that you do recommend you should keep for the income minus expenses? I go as close to zero personally. That's called like zero-based budgeting. But if, as far as keeping a cushion in your checking account, that's a very personal choice. So some people prefer $6,000 in their checking account month over month. I prefer like a few $100. So, and because that's just because I like my money invested or at least in my high yield savings account. So there's no right answer, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, and same goes with the weekly budget. It's going to do the same, turn red or be green if you're under budget. But it's just really, you can even put the dates here if you wanted to. So usually it's like Monday through Sunday. So for October, for example, let me see. For October, we start on a Wednesday. So this would look like 1 through 5, and then 6 through 12, 13 through 19. And so I'm going to go through this just so I can show how to make another column in case you do want to do this. Somebody have a question? No. Okay. So first of all, this is merged right here. So it's going to be easier to just unmerge this budget, unmerge. And then if you need to add another column, because see, there's only the 20th through the 26th, you're going to highlight this whole column. Just click the F at the top or whichever column it is, right click or double click, and then insert one column to the right. And that's going to add one more. The formatting should stay. So if you can see that everything kind of pulled over, but you do have to update some things. So I'll show that too, just in case anybody ever wants to do this. 27th through the 31st, and that's October. You can merge these back together if you'd like to. And what you'll have to change is this difference, because see, now it's not counting there. So you'll have to do minus the next one. And you can just drag, now that you've entered in this new formula, you can drag it down. So click here, there's a circle that pops up, and then a plus sign, drag down. And then sometimes the format changes. I'm kind of like a stickler with the formatting, so I really like it to all be as cohesive as possible. But that now all of them will have the correct formula. Same with actual, we need to pull in all of these columns. So we're just going to change this F. Instead of going through F, we're going to go through G. So change this to G and drag that down. So again, pops up with the plus sign, pull that down. And again, the formatting, it threw it off. So I'm going to just bold it and put, there's not going to be the barrier around it. So I like to put that back in there, which is this. And now it's back in there. You'll just want to like double check everything and make sure it's pulling in, but you'll kind of notice as the month goes if things look off. I still miss it sometimes. I've been called out in my videos like actually it's it's different. Maria, when you pull from sinking funds, how do you keep track of how much you have left over in your fund versus how much you withdrew? Good question. So in the income portion, so if you pulled from a sinking fund, let's say you're actually going through the month, it's like October 15th, and you pulled $100 from your gift sinking fund. So you can go in here, put in your 100. That's what you took out. I like to put a note so that you right click, scroll down to not comment. You can do a comment if you want to, but insert note specifically. And then you can say from gifts, from gift sinking fund, whatever it is that you're pulling from, click out, and now that's going to be saved there. So when you hover over it, it will pop up, or when you click into it, and then you can keep on adding to it, whatever you want to. So that's how you make note of when you're pulling from it. For actual tracking of the balance, so Maria, I don't know if you have a high yield savings account that allows you to have buckets. I do recommend that like anyway for people. So I use Marcus by Goldman Sachs. I recently, I don't know if Karen's on, but I recently used her link to switch over to Wealthfront, at least the bulk of my savings, because they're offering a much higher rate right now. They also offer buckets or like different accounts that you can save into. And then Ally, they're the ones who use the term buckets, but you can organize it. Otherwise, when I do this, I do both of these. So manually, I track them here. So it would be like this looks really overwhelming. I promise it's not. So it would be something like this. So you see these in my monthly updates if you watch my videos. And I have a video on how to use this that will be in my school community because this is included. You get this free. But yeah, any of your sinking funds, SF is sinking fund. So at the end of I like to log my numbers on the last day of the month because for most accounts, that's like when the interest comes through, the markets close, you know. So I would go into September, I would do this tomorrow and say, okay, now I have $941.50 in my gift sinking fund and do that for every single fund. You also can keep track of, this is probably a little bit overwhelming depending on who you are, but um, the blue section is for how much you're taking, how much you're putting into your savings and investments, or you can even put how much you're taking out. So let's say you took out 100 in September, you could put minus 100 if you wanted to. Otherwise, you can just put in which
Oh,
I
okay.
don't even do that. I actually just put what I saved to it. I just like to track the final balance. Was somebody gonna say something? No. Okay. Okay. And there's a bunch of categories on here if y'all want to work through things and start making your budget. Like I said, with the budget party that I'm going to be doing in my community, it's going to be the last Monday or Tuesday of the last Monday or Tuesday of the month. And there will hopefully always be somebody in the budget hot seat. And that depends on if people volunteer for it. But either way, I can always put myself in there, even though everybody already sees that. And it's not going to be me teaching each time. It's more like chill. We're going to be chatting. You can ask me questions during that time. We're going to be like just making our budgets together and doing it as a group. And I'll talk more about the community in just a bit. However, I'm going to have stop share. India was so kind to volunteer to come on and do the budget hot seat. So yes, thank you,
Thank
India. She was one
you.
of three. So I know it's uncomfortable for a lot of people, so I really, really appreciate it.
Of course.
Um, when do we get to pick the hot seat again? So it'll be in the community and I'll have like a post in the community. That will be end of October. Okay, so I'm gonna share different screen. Okay. India, let me ask you this. Do you prefer the weekly tracker or the simple tracker?
It's simple. I actually like made one like a
You
while
did.
back.
Okay. Okay, awesome. So
So,
this should be pretty straightforward then. So India did provide me with her numbers. She's also in Maryland. She's 33 years old. She is a lead dental assistant slash inventory manager, and she also works part-time, 4 hours a week at Panera.
hmm
Yes, that's awesome. So we are going to start with her income. Now, do you get paid twice a month?
Yes, twice a
All right.
month.
So I'm going to split it up like that for you. So paycheck one, what do you expect there for October specifically?
Okay, so you want me to give you like paycheck one as far as like for one of my jobs or both?
Let's do both. So
Okay,
in
so
separate numbers though.
okay, so I know at my dental job I get paid 1,300 every 2 weeks. So
Okay.
I don't know how you want to, yeah.
Yep. 1,300.
And then Panera, it ranges from like 65 to like 100 because I'm only doing 4 hours. It's just my
Mhm.
old job, my first job when I got here. So I love my
Oh, nice.
manager. So I stayed there.
Okay.
So yeah. So I just would just put 65 every 2 weeks. Let's just go
Okay.
low.
65 every 2 weeks. Do you want to split it up like these two or just keep it as one?
Um, you can split it up so that way I know what's going on.
Yep.
And
So we're going to call it Panera Paycheck 1, Panera Paycheck 2.
hmm
Okay. And yeah, like she said 65. Let's go with 65. And I recommend that. So you want to go with the more conservative number. Like if you're like, oh, it could be 65, it could be 100, you're better off going with 65. If it's 100, then awesome. Okay. So that's what you're bringing in. I guess we'll see if you pull. Do you have sinking funds?
no, I didn't actually create those. I probably
Okay.
should. I've been mainly focusing on trying to pay my debts off. So
hmm
it's just debt and savings. That's literally all I've been
Yeah.
doing.
Okay. No worries.
So,
So we'll leave off the sinking funds. Do you have rollover money that you want to account for, or do you want to leave that off?
I'll just leave it off.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. All right. So now for expenses,
hmm
you want to start with like rent or
Yes, so we'll do rent first. And I pay 500 for my portion.
okay. About utilities?
Okay, I don't have to pay utilities.
Oh, utilities. Awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, the next thing I have is car insurance.
Mhm.
That's 268.61.
Okay.
Okay. And then I have my car payment,
Mm-hmm.
which is 220.78.
220.78. Okay.
Yes. And then I have my pedal credit card.
Mm-hmm.
So I have here that it's $50. I guess that was the minimum for
Minimum payment.
when I
Okay.
did this. Yeah. And then I have a Capital One card and $56.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a phone bill, AT&T. That's $130.58.
Okay.
Okay, and then I have Netflix. I'm paying for two households, so it's
Okay.
$28.60.
Got it.
And I have a Nintendo Switch, so I pay the Nintendo $4.23.
Okay.
hmm And then health insurance,
Mm-hmm.
$46.04.
Okay.
Dental insurance,
Mm-hmm.
$40.70.
$40.70.
Yes.
Okay.
And then life insurance, $21.64.
Okay.
Okay, and then right now I'm taking classes. Like I'm in school for dental hygiene.
Okay.
So I do monthly payments. I have one last payment left. It's $252. And my,
252.
yes. And
Okay.
my student loan payment is $5 a month.
Okay.
And then I also do laundry at a laundromat. So my laundry, I put $45.
Okay.
Okay, so I've been trying to figure out what I want to set aside for groceries because I'm not gonna lie, I always like order food way more than I should. So I'm
Okay.
trying to figure out what I should probably budget for that. Is mainly just me. I do
Mm-hmm.
have a son, but he's 8 and he doesn't eat that much, and he's with
Okay.
his dad during the week during the school year.
Okay.
So don't know what to put there.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever tracked your spending and seen what you spend on
No,
groceries? No.
I actually made this. I actually was trying to do this last month and I didn't do it because I was studying for like a national board test. So I
Mhm.
just, and then I got COVID like the following week. So I was just like, so, no, I never tracked it. So I don't know where to start. I guess I would have to guess an amount and see if I need more or less like going forward.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I
Joe,
guess this, hmm?
Joe has his hand up. What are you thinking, Joe?
So I had the same. I don't cook at all. So that's simple. I always eat out. So what
Mm-hmm.
I did to track my food out spending is I always took pictures of the receipt with my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So the date, and then end of the week, I was able to like track my spending for food each day, Sunday through Saturday, for my tracking. It takes time to get into the habit, taking pictures of receipts, or the Capital One credit card you mentioned. It always tells
Mhm.
me that what I spent for that location. Right? You get that notification. You spent $18 at Subway, and I screenshot that, and then I use that towards the end of the week as well. So I just go through my gallery, and that's how I track my food out spending. Because it's hard keeping paper receipts. Um,
Yeah.
so you just take a picture of your receipt, and then you just go back to your phone. And that's what I did when I first started tracking my spending for food out. Um, that's what I did. That's what worked for me. Um, and then maybe you can try doing that and see if that works for you. Um, if you have questions about how to track your food out spending, let me know.
Okay, thank you.
I'm an expert at food out. Layla can
Dro,
just
can I say your budget?
yes.
So, Dro, if I ever talk about one of my clients spending like 1,200 on food out, it's Dro.
Oh my God.
He budgets 12, is it 1,200, 1,240 something?
Um, right now, right now it's about 1,200. Yes,
Yeah. Um, so
but
he's always the one that I'm referring to.
it was higher
But I
than
let it
that.
happen.
It was higher than that. Higher than that. But I was convinced don't use DoorDash
Mhm.
deliveries to save my money. And it did save me about $300 a month doing that. So
Mhm.
thank you for that, Leila.
Mhm. Yeah, I let people get their food out. My approach to all of this is always I want you to be balanced. I want you to be realistic too. So yeah, if you want to prioritize food out over groceries, that's absolutely fine, but usually something is going to have to take from that, you know. As far as like if you don't know what the groceries are, that's perfectly fine. What I usually do with people is either they can go back and look at their like spending in their bank app even, and sometimes it organizes it that way. Or like what Joe was saying, you could just start tracking with taking pictures. But sometimes I just let them go, like set a goal around it. Like, hey, I would love to just spend 400 on groceries, and then you'll track your spending and then see what it looks like the next month, like reset the budget.
Yeah, that's the approach that I think I was going to try to take. Just be
Yeah.
like, oh, let me give myself like 100 for food out, and then maybe like 300 for groceries or
Okay.
something, and then see
You
how.
want to do that?
Yeah.
300 and typing the wrong thing.
Okay.
Okay.
And I
Food
think
food
Yeah,
okay.
out.
the main thing is like, obviously I have a high food out budget, right? But it's about being responsible as well. Do I hit that mark every month? Not really. That's just my target goal, but I never make that goal. I'm usually about like right now, September through December is always going to be over because I got birthdays, we do dinners, stuff like that. Like my September food out budget was 2,200. But I'm not even close to that because we opted for gifts instead of food out. So I'm 1,000 below that for the month. So
Thanks, Joe.
don't feel bad if we're eating out. I'm a big advocate of eating out. I'm for you if you want to eat out, but be responsible.
Okay. I will.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay. I just wanted to add, I guess, like from what I can think off in my head, like maybe two more categories. So one is Elijah,
Okay.
Alijah. That's my son.
Okay.
I want to put I guess like 150 for him because sometimes he needs pull-ups and stuff. Like he's special needs and yeah.
Okay.
And um I guess if there's something left over, something for myself too. Okay.
Okay. So I know this is budget hot seat. Are you okay with me like coaching you a little bit through this?
Yeah.
Okay. So is that everything for October
Yeah, I think let me
far that you think of?
see. Oh, did I put gas on there?
Oh, I don't know that we did.
I think I accidentally skipped that one.
I'm gonna put that. That's fine. We'll just put
I'm
it.
sorry.
No, it's okay.
Gas and this is probably like overstatement because my job is like 20 minutes up the road, but
Okay.
I put $80.
Perfect. And then I'm gonna just pull up this budget
That's
category
it.
if there's anything else that possibly could be on there.
Um,
Any health, wellness, otherwise from outside of health insurance?
No, I
Any?
don't pay for a gym membership or anything. And I don't take any like, oh, I might need like a what do you call it? Like a category just for like supplies, like vitamins and stuff like that.
Okay, so I'll call that, I'm just gonna call that health wellness. Can always put whatever you prefer. Do you want to
Mm-hmm.
budget anything for October or just
Um,
see what you spend, if anything?
I guess we have to see what I spend. Can we at least put like $50 and then
Yeah.
see what happens? You
Okay.
know? Yeah. And
And then
then
go ahead, I'm sorry.
I don't know if I'm missing anything else. Sorry,
Any
this is my first time trying to create a budget. So.
Oh, awesome. I love that. Thank you for volunteering then. This is perfect. Yeah, no, this is a lot of people are when I work with them, they're new. So one other thing to consider, because you're going to think of October specifically, if you're
Mhm.
doing anything like any fun entertainment, going to the movies or maybe Halloween stuff, anything coming up there?
Uh, mm, I usually just go trick or treating with my son. I'm a workaholic. I work 6 days a week, so I really
Yeah, yeah.
don't. I mean, I guess we can put something just in case. It's
Okay.
better to have just in case, right? And
Yeah.
then, yeah.
Me. And don't feel like pressured. This is for you and for anybody. Like you don't have to put this on there. And absolutely, if we're budgeting for it, it doesn't mean you need to spend in it. It's like just if you realistically think you're going to spend there, then it probably should be included. How about any beauty? Do you get your nails done, hair done, anything like that?
I'm trying to get away from getting my nails done, honestly. Once I get these soaked off, I'm not doing that.
Okay. Love
I
it.
don't even really love these that much
Okay.
anymore. So
Okay.
no,
So
but
we're gonna come back to everything else, but I'm gonna go backwards a little bit.
okay.
So one thing I'm gonna do is highlight, this is what I just prefer just for so I can like see things when I work with people and even for myself. I kind of like to color coordinate things. So debt I typically put in red. I have some clients who prefer like putting a column. I kind of like this idea because it makes it a little, she does like instead of putting these as all red, she'll put it like here,
hmm
which I think is kind of nice. So do you have a preference?
It doesn't matter to me either way.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep it how it was because that's I can just see it better that way.
Okay.
Um, okay, so I turn those red, and then so those are your debts, the minimum payments. Are you okay with me saying how much total debt you have?
hmm
Okay, so India has about 13,000 total debt across her credit cards and car loan. You said you have student loans as well? That one's
So
really
I do have a student loan. I keep forgetting about it because it's $5 a month. It's like $400.
$400. Okay.
I probably should just pay,
Yeah,
to
is
be
there any
honest.
interest on that?
Um, I don't know, honestly.
Okay. Okay, so
I
that
probably
would be
should look
something,
into that. I forgot to
yeah,
write
that
that.
would be something I would have you do. So,
Yeah.
see if there's interest on that. It is such a low balance that you probably could just pay it off in October if you wanted to and remove that. That was also down here, so I'll put that in. You know what? I'll move that one up just so it looks a little bit more cohesive. Okay, take this one out.
Thanks, Charles.
Student loans, we're going to turn that one red as well. And then I did want to ask about your car insurance. I think like the DMV area is known for being more expensive, but have you shopped around for this lately?
Yeah, actually, like did a couple of them and it was higher. So I was like,
Okay.
because that's full coverage for
Okay.
my car. When I had my
Yeah.
Hyundai, it was
Mhm.
more than that. It was like three something. So I'm actually feeling a little bit blessed, right? So
Yeah.
I
Okay.
unfortunately got into a car accident, and that
Oh, no.
is why I have a car payment now.
Okay.
Someone
Okay.
hit me. So
I'm sorry. That's awful. Okay. So we'll leave that as is. I wouldn't have you look into it. Your phone bill also kind of stood out to me. Are you also financing a phone on here?
I am. I had mine paid off, but then I lost it.
Okay.
So I had to buy another one.
Okay. No worries. So that explains that one. These are
Mhm.
all fine to me. This is good. You said when does this
I
end?
think this is the last month. Class starts this month. I think this is the last payment.
Okay, I'm
So
just
then
gonna
that will be gone after this month. Yeah.
put a note on that. Laundry, groceries. Okay, perfect. So let me just double check. These are all adding up, and this is adding up. Where is it? B9 minus B36. Perfect. Okay. And you told me your goals are to pay off your debt. Specifically, you have the two credit cards
Mm-hmm.
with one with the 31% interest rate and the other with
Yeah.
28. So both very high. Um, so, but you also have that student loan, which is probably a lower interest rate. So I would not be mad at you if you like decided not to pay that off in one lump sum, um, because it's probably better for you to prioritize the credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
Also want to save. You put $10,000. You currently have
Mm-hmm.
about 1,700 saved up.
Mm-hmm.
About how do you feel about that number?
Honestly, I know it's low, but from my bad habits, I feel like it's pretty good because it took a while for me to save like 1,000. And then not only that, like I ended up having to get a car. So I got my
Oh,
car last year and it was like I think 23,000 and I only owe 10,000 left. So a huge chunk of that is gone. So,
yeah,
so I feel like I'm doing what I can. And then Maryland is very expensive.
right.
So,
Okay.
I don't know. I do want it to be higher though. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Going into October and even like the next 3 months, would you prefer to save or pay off debt?
I want to get rid of the credit cards.
You want to do
I'm
the
tired of Capital One.
okay. Okay. That's the on your sheet, that's your silver card.
Yeah.
Got
So,
it.
yeah, the silver card. Yeah.
Okay. For those
Mhm.
not, I'm looking at a different screen where her numbers are. So for those you are not seeing that. Okay, so let's do you want to add anything to savings in the month of October? In the month of October.
I usually at least put $20 in um the first high yield savings account.
Mhm.
And then if I do have something left over, like at the end of the month or whatever, I'll put it in the second one.
Okay. So has that been kind of your approach as of now? Like how have you handled paying off?
Yeah, like I usually just make sure that whenever I get paid, I do those two things like every month without a doubt. And it's gotten me past 1K because my goal for the longest has been like, yeah, just try to save 1,000 again. Or
Mhm.
or I would feel like I would do it and then something would happen, like the car situation or whatever, and it's like my money would just so I just put like $20 or $10. So that way I feel like I'm still saving, but yet I'm still prioritizing debt,
The debt payoff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that way, if something happens, I don't like feel like I have to put it on my credit card and start over and
Hmm.
feel overwhelmed looking at my credit card numbers.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for your situation, it's a little bit tricky for October specifically, just because you don't have like a huge amount. I think after this though, like once this is gone, if you hit
Mm-hmm.
the last payment, that's going to jump you up to be able to put 500 elsewhere. I think
Mm-hmm.
for October, let's keep the 20 going to your high yield savings account, number one.
Okay.
And then let's pay down. And I also think we should leave a cushion here just a little bit. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe leave this at $110. So let's put an extra 200 to your Capital One, which has the 31%, over
Okay.
1% interest rate. So I'm going to add in 200.
Okay. I see
I'm
what you're at.
gonna
Okay.
highlight this. Just I like to do this so that's like, it's extra. And then we're gonna leave a cushion there for you this month because this is your first time budgeting, and I think that will help. Let's see, Joe, I would vote for paying off your debt first. You have a good amount in savings. I agree, whatever's left over. Yeah. So if you feel comfortable by the end of October and you're like, oh, I actually have an extra $300, or you just feel better going into November, then you could throw more to savings or more to debt. But let's just see what your spending actually looks like. So the most important thing really at this point, your budget's set, and now you have to track your spending and your income.
Okay. Thank
Any
you so
questions?
much. Thank you so much. I know you just showed us that. So when I spend something or pay for something like for the groceries, you said you do equal sign and then you do the number.
Yep. So
And
equals, let's say that you go grocery shopping this Friday, which is October, you spend 75 and then you close out, you can come back to the app. Go back into it. You can, if you click here, you'll see it comes up at the top,
mm-hmm.
or you can double click into this and it will pop up here too. Put a plus sign and then however much you spent again.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And yeah, you can do that for like as many numbers as you need to. Like you can go down the whole sheet. And then this will update as well as you're actually spending your money.
Mm-hmm.
I did want to call out India on your sheets. You may have other sheets, but you have access to this. So I put in the tracker with charts. I couldn't think of the word. So this will be in my community for y'all to get. I'm going to put this on my Etsy shop soon, but there is an option with charts so you can kind of see where your money's going just visually. Something else for you, India, that I would recommend, and for everybody, and I've talked about this on my channel, is filling in this tab called Year at a Glance. So this is going to help you each time you're going in to create your budget. If there's something, India, do you celebrate Christmas?
Yes.
Okay, so if you buy Christmas presents, for example, Christmas, it's a common one. And let's say you want to spend $500, so this is what you would do. So you know in December I need to have $500 ready to go, or that's what I'm planning to spend. If you have a birthday in the month, like mom's B-day, and how much you expect to spend, you can repurpose this basically year over year for most things. But sometimes it'll be like car insurance if you paid your 6 month premium, and that's $800 or whatever it may be. Any holidays, birthdays, travel, random things that you're not expecting. If you pay anything annually, like subscriptions, that would go in here. So each time you come in to make your budget, you can refer to this, and it just so I always forget things, and then I look at mine, and I'm like, oh yeah. This is also helpful for people who don't have sinking funds. So for like with you, India, once you fill this out, and if there's anything that you see popping up pretty frequently, then that's probably a good idea to make a fund for it, just to prepare for it. So I'm gonna take these out. Okay. India, do you have any more questions?
I guess my only thing I was thinking about is how would a person transition to like having sinking funds worked into their budget versus just having like, oh, this is my savings. Because that's kind of like me. Like I'm just like everything is like in one big pile, you
Yeah.
know. But I do understand that, maybe sinking funds is a little bit more organized if a person has like, a car maintenance fund, for example,
Hmm.
or, stuff like that. So I just wanted to know like how a person would transition from that. Like, would you recommend that I just like pay the debts off and then try to organize all that? Because that's how my brain is thinking, but I don't know.
So for certain things, yes. Otherwise, it depends. So if there is something you're absolutely going to be doing, like let's say you already have a trip planned for March of next year, and it's probably going to serve you to start a sinking fund for that, in addition to paying off extra debt. Or if you have like a big, something coming up that you have to pay for it, then it's going to help you to have a sinking fund. Otherwise, everything else really can wait. And then as far as transitioning to that, you probably wouldn't be able to start very easily in October because that would take away from your extra debt payments. And which high yield savings accounts do you have?
I have two Capital One accounts.
Capital
So
One.
one has my son's name attached to it, and then one is just my name on it. So that's why there's two separate ones.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
And that allows you to create little buckets in there, right? Like separate savings accounts.
I just been adding to it. I
Okay.
don't know.
I want to say
I think
Capital
the Capital
One.
One 360 does. I've seen people do it, but I
Hmm.
think with how they do is they just keep opening different accounts because
Yeah.
Capital One is set up where you can see like all your accounts at once, and
Hmm.
then they kind of just like rename those accounts and they use it kind of like in a bucket way.
Perfect. Yes. So
Yeah.
that's the same way Marcus is. That's what I use primarily.
Mm-hmm.
So that you'll want to create those. Sometimes they'll close accounts if they'll close the separate accounts if you don't fund them. So wait until you're ready to do it. And let me first put this is how I create my budget. I just go like down the sheet. I keep on adding. So we're just
Mm-hmm.
trying to see what November would look like for you if you didn't have to pay for school. So we'll just take this out.
Mm-hmm.
And then this you will take out the extra 200 for now and kind of rework that. Um, so then for you, you would probably want to give everything a name. And let's say, is there a sinking fund top of mind for you that you want?
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna go to school again in the spring because
Okay.
I do have to like, yeah, I'm only like a year through the dental hygiene program. I still have like 2 years of clinical.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So I do always recommend an emergency fund, like a separate,
Mm-hmm.
or at least some people don't like that word. So if you want just like general savings, that's perfectly fine. So something for general savings or an emergency fund, and then you said school. So I'm gonna put that as school SF, and then the blue is for savings. So at this point, you can then be like, okay, I have maybe in November you feel more comfortable. You're like, oh, I did only spend 300 on groceries. I can probably maintain that. Or even if you're like, actually, I think it's better to be 400, you can update. Plus, I don't Thanksgiving, that's usually more expensive. So yeah, you adjust everything depending on what you need to. And then you're like, okay, I have a good 400 I could put to my debt and to my sinking funds. How
Mm-hmm.
much is school going to cost you in the spring?
I'm only gonna take one class, was a class with lab. I don't know. I would have to check my statements.
Okay.
Um, so I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
Would you have to pay that in January?
No. I think when
Mm.
spring semester starts. So, because January is winter. So
Mm.
I don't know. But I
So,
just thought like, okay, if I did like pay, I think it would probably cut down on my monthly payments if I was to pay something. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
they do offer a payment plan option, and I usually just sign up for it, and whatever it is, I just kind of just, just do it because I'm like, I don't have a choice. I have to keep going until I finish.
Okay.
So that's just how I've been winging it.
Let's say you had to pay like $2,000. Um,
Hmm.
there's a couple of ways you could do this. Like you said, you can just save up what you can, but you could also divide this by how many months until you reach this. Like, but let's say you have to pay it in, it's probably honestly March. Um, if you had to pay it in March,
Five.
we're gonna skip October, November, December, so about 4 months. So ideally, you would be able to save 500 per month to get to that point.
Hmm.
The only thing with that is it would take away from your extra debt payments. Honestly, you probably could fit that in. Like you could make that work by messing with some other, even if you wanted to keep that. Like I would probably say, okay, then groceries needs to be a bit tighter if that's realistic. Like something in here could give like you would have to figure that out. Otherwise, this could just be like, okay, let me put that back to 400. I'm going to save what's a reasonable amount, like 200.
Hmm.
And then I'm going to keep putting an extra 200 to my highest interest debt or whichever one you want to prioritize.
Yeah.
So
I
there's
think
no
this
right answer to
semester I paid seven something. So it was three payments of the 252.
that.
So
Oh, okay, great.
and it was a three credit class. If I take a class next semester, it's probably just gonna be more closer to like 1,000 or a little over 1,000 because it's only gonna be 4 credits. I go to a community college too, so it saves. It's a little cheaper.
Perfect. So even
Yeah.
better, let's call it
Mhm.
250. You're still in the positive. You could do that. You can also pay an extra 200. You probably want to do this November through February, and then
Mhm.
March, if that's when it's due. You'll have that money to pay for. You'll be paying extra to your Capital One credit card. At that point, it would not be paid off, but you'll be saving on some interest. So
Okay. It's my birthday month in November. Hopefully I get lucky.
okay, okay. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like if you are gonna have more fun entertainment, maybe people will pay for you though.
Yeah.
Yeah, with things like that, it's like, do I want to incorporate some personal spending? Do I want to go out? Yeah. So just adjust once we're closer to the month.
Thank you, Paige.
Yeah, happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'm gonna stop there. Thank you so much, India. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
you
Thank
coming on.
you.
Everybody, thank you to India, please. I know it's not easy. I share all my numbers, but I know most people don't like to.
You
Okay.
got this. You got
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
It does. One thing, it does take time to get in the habit of tracking everything. It did take me some time,
Thank you,
and
Maria.
the reason why, like, I made monthly sessions with the coach, with our coach, is to be held accountable, right? Because I had an appointment. If I wasn't ready, now I wasted both our times, right? So like, it takes time to get that disciplined and get that going. But once you get in a habit, you're like doing it live at the restaurant, like, oh, I'm spending whatever, and boom, you're done. Like I told her last, like what last mid last, I started watching Layla's videos in September of 2023, right? And then in January 2024, I'm like, okay, I'm doing it on my own, but I'm not being consistent. So I hired her as my coach, which allowed me to pay off all my debt, which is your goal, um,
Hmm.
and to get savings, which is your goal as well. Just by making sure I was ready for those appointments, because you have the back of your head. Oh my gosh, if I'm not ready, I'm going to be disappointing someone. But at the end of the day, you're disappointing yourself, right? Because this is for you. And then if you really want this, you'll get it done. Like if you have any questions, feel free to let Ladle know, and she can ask me for you, and I'll answer for you guys. Like
Oh, thank you.
it's been a blessing um, this past year. Well, I kind of stopped this year because I lost my job, and then I got back with her a month ago. So because I was losing those habits, I wasn't being consistent. So now I got to be consistent again. So I'm back with her every month going forward until I made my because I got into some debt being out of a job, so credit card debt. So I'm trying to pay that off now. So
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to Layla too. I actually discovered your channel this year, like recently, and I was listening to you consistently in the car. It's something about your voice that when I'm driving, I'm like, okay, she speaks clear. Like I can hear her. I can hear what she's
Oh, I
saying,
love that.
So
Thank you so
I
much.
was like, okay. So when I see you were looking for someone, I was like, okay, I have been trying to get my mindset right first because I feel like my failures in the past for financial was mindset and also I just like found out I had ADHD and things like that. So I just like had to really like get that stuff under control because I felt like I would think about one thing, do another, try to handle everything at once, just all over the place. And
Hmm.
I think once I started like reading books and like listening to people on repeat like you, like every day in the car, it kind of like was like setting my mind like, India, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, you can
Yeah.
do this. And then like little by little, I just started putting money aside, right? And then I was just like, okay, so we're making a little progress, The credit card debt isn't as bad as it used to be, all this and
Yeah.
that. And it just like once I started seeing that, I was like, oh, I might actually can do this. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so I actually like took the opportunity because I'm also very shy and very secretive about my life and like not the type of person that always asks for help. And I'm like, someone is here, and I really appreciate it. So I was like, let me just try to change me, like really change me, like from the inside
Love that.
out. So I think it starts from the inside, your mind and everything, and then just working your way out. Because anytime I just tried on a whim, I just I just always like went back to like old habits and old ways. And I'm like, what is going on? I know I want to do this. Why is it not sticking?
Yeah.
And then I just did what you did. I think in one of your videos, you said that you were listening to financial videos over and over. I don't know, was
Always.
it short or
Yeah.
something, but when you said that, I was like, that is me. That is
Yeah.
me. So,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
that's what I
anyways,
did.
I really appreciate you for having me.
Of
And,
course. No, thank you. Thank you.
thank you,
Thank you for sharing
Charles.
that. Especially saying that you're like shy about it. I like thank you so much. That's awesome. Yeah, and I really love my community. Like y'all who actually show up. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Like this is why I wanted to create this. I know that there's a paywall behind it, so I'm gonna share this now. Um, I think this is the right. Hold on, let me make sure I got the right link. It's just gonna
And
get
when next thing, like it's all about like you're saying, like the motivation is always going to be there, but motivation is like a temporary high. It goes away. That's where you have to build the discipline. Because being disciplined equals consistency. Because
Mhm.
Exactly.
you can be motivated to do anything you want, like you mentioned, and then you stop doing it because the motivation is gone. It's just building those daily habits of just being disciplined. Like schedule your phone, like every Sunday afternoon. Let me do my budget, update my budget. That's what I started doing. Luckily where I was working, I worked at night. It was so slow. I had plenty of time to do all my numbers at night during work, on my phone. So if you have slippers at work, perfect time to do it. Get paid while you're doing your personal budgeting if you can. But yeah, it takes time. Don't feel bad if you like forget something. Just keep going.
Yeah. I'm not paying Drew to say any of this, by the way.
No, no,
He
no.
just registered like a couple hours ago. So, but yeah, this community is it's gonna be a chill. Like that's my personality anyway. Like Drew, I think you're the only person who's like actually worked with me here, but um, I like a chill approach. Like I like a community. That's why I wanted to create this, something where it's more close knit, and obviously I offer my one-on-one coaching, and this isn't the budget and build community, which I put in the chat, like that's the first link at the top. It's not coaching per se, but I do want to have somebody in the budget hot seat every month. So it would be like this. I wouldn't be teaching at the beginning, but it would just be kind of what I just went through with India. If people are open to me coaching, I'm absolutely willing to do that, like I did with her. Otherwise, I'm going to be coming on live every other week. So, for example, just because the way the month is spread out, I'm going to go live this coming. I got to figure out the days still. As of now, I have it set to Monday, the 6th, and then 2 weeks after that, at different times. So I'll take polls in there and see what's going on. But basically, during those sessions, it's you come in. I call it like office hours. You can ask any questions. We can just chat through things. If you need help with something, I'm happy to. Yeah, so there's just going to be so much more to come to it. Right now, you're not going to see like any courses in there, but I'm going to be, as things go, I will keep on adding. So for example, I want to show y'all how to use, hold on, it's on the other sheet. That annual tracker. Hold on, hold on. This one, I'm going to film a video because I'm going to fill this in tomorrow myself. So I'll have my own numbers. I'll show you exactly how to fill this out. I'll put that video up. So it's just going to be something that's going to continue to grow. And I do want like all the financing. So it's not just with budgeting. Like I really at this point, like we all want to increase our income. We all want to build wealth. So that's the point too. Like there's going to be investing, there's going to be making extra income and like just hopping ideas off of each other, basically. And then I do also want to offer, where did I put that? Um, so if you have questions, if you can't make it to the lives for whatever reason, those are going to be recorded, by the way. But if you want to just ask a question in the school, I will respond either with text or make a video to respond as well. So that's like at any time, and I'll have set times that I respond. So yeah, that sheet has that at the top, no pressure. But I would love to see y'all join. It's gonna be $11 for a limited time, and that would be you if you book or if you join now, you're grandfathered in. So if the price increases, then you will stay at the 11 forever. Otherwise, on that sheet, there's my other options to work with me. And yeah, y'all have access to this. But do you have any questions on budgeting in general?
I just have one question about what you were just going over. So all these things are part of the school community?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. I just want to make sure.
The school community, I know people don't like another app. I'm sorry. There's no way around it. I didn't want to do like a Facebook group. I really like the school community. I think it's kind of old school to me. Ironically enough, old school. It's by Alex Hormozy. I think he's like a co-founder. I personally like Alex Hormozy. I think
I like him too.
yeah, okay. I
Yeah.
think he's really cool. Like he's just real and he doesn't like ask for much. He just puts out a lot of free content. But I really like the platform. Like so far, what I've seen from it, I'm in like one other community for school people, and it's really nicely organized. So still a little bit to learn there, but it is you can get on your computer with it, or you can download the app. I have the app as well. But yeah, you don't have to like use social media to access it or anything like that.
Okay.
Emma, do you have a question?
Yes, hello. My question is for the monthly budget parties. That's only exclusively for the community members. No more YouTube. Is this our only free budget
Yeah,
party for us?
yeah, correct. So this one is going to go up on YouTube, and then the budget parties are going to be in the school community. So maybe at one point I'll do it again for YouTube, but it probably won't be for several months if I do.
All right, thank you.
Hmm. Amara, correct me if I don't know if I'm saying that right. Is it Amara? 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 Um, y'all got the sheet. Can you tell me? It should be on there. It's called Annual Finance Tracker. The free sheet that y'all got from my email, it should already be on there. If it's not, if anybody wants to tell me, or if it is, and confirm.
Um,
You see it. Okay, perfect. Yeah, it's on there, and I'll explain how to use that in the community. And I post my videos each month using I use that myself, so you kind of can see what it's really to track your savings balances. If you have debt, you can track how much you've paid off, things like that, and then it tracks your net worth as well. You do have to plug in the numbers manually, but that's how I do prefer to do everything.
That's my homework tomorrow night as well.
Hmm. Yeah, and the thing too is, and Dro can attest for this. Every Monday, I will come in and check spreadsheets and make sure that people log their spending. This community is not going to be as personalized as that, but I will be popping into the community to say, hey, if you didn't track your spending, track your spending. You know, this is the whole point to hold people accountable because from my clients, that's like the main thing that I hear. Like, oh, I only filled these in because you were watching me. And I know that that sounds negative, but it's really not because it's like you're building the habit out of it. And it's like you're paying me to provide that for you. So, yeah, I will be popping in on Mondays, reminding everybody to make sure they at least log their spending for the week. And then on the last day of the month, I also sent like to my clients, I'll pop into their sheets and say, hey, don't forget to log your final balances. But I'll put that in the community as well. So I'll be doing my first one for the community tomorrow. It's the last day of the month. Somehow. We're in October. Anybody else have questions, thoughts, concerns? I do want this to be um, very interactive as well, like just chill, hang out, chat, what's going on in life, that type of thing. So I'm hoping for that too. Mm, it's on the sheet, Charles, for the one-on-one session. If you do want to work with me one-on-one, I am still offering that. It's on the sheet at the bottom if you scroll down. You're welcome.
Like when you guys can, if you guys can, I do recommend it. Just because, like I said, it helped me build those habits and get that discipline going. Knowing that I had a monthly meeting every month, and me not being ready with my numbers was going to be a waste of time for myself as well as for our fabulous coach. So it's just one of those things where if you can, do it. If not, just wait until you can and then jump on board and you'll see your growth. I just out of nowhere, like mid-month last year, like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this on my own. No more reminders, no more weekly updates like, hey, you forgot to insert whatever amount for your food out or whatever. So it just takes time. Next, you know, it clicks and you're just doing it on your own, which is great.
Thanks, Drew.
Any questions for me that has had her as my personal coach for the last year? You guys have questions about? She's super nice, by the way. She doesn't yell at you. She doesn't
I don't
judge.
yell.
She doesn't
Yeah.
yell. She doesn't judge. Basically, what you see on the videos is she's very transparent, which is what led me to her videos as well as her coaching, because she was always so open with her YouTube videos of everything she was doing, being into it. Being transparent was huge for me. And not being judgmental. Like especially when we first met with my food out, $600 for food out it's a lot of money. I understand that. But she wasn't judgmental on that. She understood my reasons behind it, and then we just made sure that I was responsible, made it work with all my personal goals as well. Which we were able to accomplish. She says I did all the work, but I think it's more of a we thing. But it's something that we were able to accomplish together, last year and this year as well. We have some goals going forward that I'm trying to gonna hit by the end of the year.
I just want to make sure that I'm following Joe and Layla. So is the school communities app this one?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure. Oh, okay.
India, I'm gonna put you in because you volunteered.
Okay.
So I'm gonna send you the invite right now. You should be getting that soon. I do see the question, difference between one-on-one and school. Is school for after the one-on-one? So no, one-on-one is like private. We just have like it would be just us on the call and I am in your spreadsheets with you. So in the school community, that will not be the case. Sometimes there may be, like if only one person joins the budget party, then I can one-on-one coach you, or if you just join the office hour and it's just you, it may end up being one-on-one, but I don't know what to expect as of yet. But no, the one-on-one is like me literally making a plan with you for the 12 weeks we work together or beyond that, or I have different, like you can work with me one time or two different calls. So I do want to make school something after the one-on-one at some point, but I don't think school offers like a free 3-month trial. I think that's something they're working on, or I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. So to come, but I haven't seen where they offer that yet. They offer like a free 7-day trial, but I'm trying to see if they offer like free 3 months or 6 months after somebody works with me one-on-one. So, but yeah, that's the difference. Hopefully okay, cool. Thank you for asking. Everybody's budget set for October? Also mine. It's not looking too pretty, but we're gonna figure it out. I think it'll be a good month. I love October. I always get like a new dose of motivation during this time of year. So, okay. Any last questions, thoughts, concerns? I will send a recording of this through email, and then the link to the school, of course. So feel free to take your time, no pressure. I appreciate y'all just being subscribed and supporters of me either way. I know there's a paywall behind it, but I think it'll be good. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Thank you. Have a great night.